Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. We are so excited that you are joining us. I'm Candy Tillman, for those of you that I haven't met yet. On that note, we're going to kick off a quick poll. We'd love to hear a little bit about you. And again, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here with us. My husband and I started 50 Strong in 2020. And today, I'm so happy to share some really good news with you, but I want to just give you a little bit of background. Amazon was the employer. That was the very first employer that I went to when we had this crazy idea to start a virtual coffee shop back in 2020. And it was the Amazon team that leaned in initially with some pilot funding to help us get 50 Strong going. So today, 5 years later, we're here with you with a whole bunch of folks from Amazon and AWS that are super excited to meet you, to learn about you, to answer your questions, and to share with you about Amazon Pathways. And I have some fun news. We broke a record. You all broke a record today. This is the most people we have ever had register for a single employer event at 50 Strong in 5 years. Almost 400 people registered today to come meet with this one employer. So to all of you that made that possible, thank you so much for being here with us. To the Amazon and the AWS team, thank you all so much. To our team, the 50 Strong team, thank you for making this all happen. I'm actually on vacation today. I'm joining you all from Panama. I came down to meet with Kate, and my daughter and I are staying for a couple of extra days. But certainly, this is one meeting I did not want to miss. So I'm so happy to be with you. It looks like over half of you that are joining us right now are with us at 50 Strong for the very first time. Here's what I hope you take away from today. When my husband and I started this effort in 2020, it was to just do one simple thing. It was to help military affiliated job seekers connect directly with strong employers that value their skills. And so over the last 5 years, we've worked really hard to make sure that we're cultivating an environment that is casual, easy, and virtual so that you can join us wherever you are, no matter how busy your schedule gets. So I just wanted to say thank you all so much for being here with us. To the Amazon team, thank you so much again. And to our team, certainly thank you. It looks like 32% of you that are joining us are on active duty. It looks like 41% of you are currently enrolled in an education or training program. I love it. So again, I just want to say thank you. I'm going to now turn it over. Cassie, I'm turning it over to you, correct? Awesome. I'm going to turn it over to Cassie Hart on the 50 Strong team. Cassie, thanks especially to you and Robin for getting today going. So excited to be with you all. And Cassie, over to you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We're excited to share this time with you. But before we jump in, I want to give a quick thank you to all of our sponsors, including our speaker sponsor, Amazon. Their support is what really makes events like this possible, helping us to connect talent and opportunity at scale across the entire country. And in this case, since there are some of you that are not in the country, across the entire world. So just a few housekeeping items. First, please stay muted unless you're speaking, just to minimize background noise. You can always utilize the chat to ask questions during the main session, and we'll try and address them throughout or at the end. If you're experiencing any technical issues, drop a note in the chat and the 50 Strong team will assist you. And later, we'll head into breakout rooms for smaller group discussions. So I'm so glad that you're here with us today as we spotlight Amazon. And so whether you're exploring new career paths or just curious about how Amazon supports the military community, you're in the right place. And this is a company that has shown incredible dedication to hiring and supporting veterans, transitioning service members, and military spouses. Amazon's commitment to the military community runs deep through programs like the Amazon Military Fellowship Program, their SkillBridge internships, and all of their military pathways. They are providing real on-ramps to meaningful careers in tech, operations, logistics, HR, and more. Amazon employs thousands of veterans and military spouses and continues to grow their support systems to ensure these individuals thrive in civilian careers. So today, Robin will be sharing a plethora of information about Amazon, answering some of your burning questions, and providing specifics on their hiring locations. Keep in mind, you can also gain this information when you go into the breakout rooms. From 50 Strong, we have some amazing events coming up that you are more than welcome to attend. You can find a full list of our events at the link that is going to be dropped into the chat. And these events will expose you to multiple employers that can help you expand your network and make those connections that can change your life. So make sure and join us for all of the events that we have coming up. All right. Here's a quick rundown of what to expect today. We're going to start with some information about 50 Strong. Then we'll dive into an overview of Amazon from Robin and their employment pathways. And after that, we'll head into breakout rooms that you can see here for some great direct conversations with the Amazon team members. We'll wrap up with some Q&A. If you have any questions that haven't been answered during your breakout sessions or during Robin's presentations, we'll give some closing thoughts and then give you some next steps. The real purpose of this session is a chance to learn directly from Amazon about who they are, what they're hiring for, and most importantly, how to position yourself for success. We encourage you to ask questions and engage in the breakout rooms. It really is a unique chance to connect directly with their team. But please note the breakout sessions that are available today. Again, you can see them right here. Each room is hosted by an Amazon team member, and they're ready to share their path and answer all of your questions. Think of this as your chance to have a real casual conversation about what it's like working at Amazon in all of these different areas, from operations to AWS, and make sure and ask about their SkillBridge opportunities. At 50 Strong, we have something called the Opportunity Marketplace, and you need to make sure that you check this out. It is a go-to spot for discovering real opportunities that fit your interests and your background. It's not just another job board like you've seen before, it's your personalized launchpad. You can quickly filter by location, see what roles are lined up with your experience, and get real-time updates straight from our awesome partners like Amazon. It is built to help you take action quickly. This is one of the most exciting things I think that is happening at 50 Strong lately. I wanted to highlight the 50 Strong Mentoring Hub. It is a virtual, on-demand, and super flexible space where transitioning service members, veterans, and military spouses can connect with mentors from both our sponsor companies and also the broader industry. Whether you're looking for transition advice, want to learn about a specific industry or company culture, hoping to set up an informational interview, or just need some job search guidance, the Hub is designed to make those connections happen in a timely and meaningful way to support what your next steps look like. We will drop some links in the chat, so if you would like to become part of this emerging option, please sign up and we will be more than happy to have you on our platform. So now we're going to jump over to Robin, and she is going to talk us through all of the amazing things that Amazon has to offer you. Robin, I'm going to get you started.
All right. Thanks, Cassie.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you
you.
bet.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're dialing in from. My name's Robin. I lead global military talent acquisition enablement for Amazon, which means I build programs and partnerships to enable amazing recruiting teams like the ones you're about to interact with to hire from the military community. And just to be clear, whenever I say the military community, I mean transitioning active duty, reserve, guard, veterans, and military spouses, and all of the components. So, could you go to the next slide, please? I think the next slide is just, oh, it's my agenda. So these are the things I'm going to cover. I always like to start with our culture because it's at the core and in the fiber of everything we do, talk about our programs and resources, briefly go over the way the recruiting process flow, and then talk about some career progression. Now, you are going to get a copy of this slide deck in a PDF format, so you'll be able to click on all the hyperlinks. So please relax and enjoy the presentation and know that you'll have a hard copy that you can leverage afterwards. Next slide, please. This is just me, just a little bit about me. I have been with the company 7.5 years. I retired from the US Army with 33 total years, 23 reserve and 10 active. I'm in the greater Seattle area, if you can't tell. I've pretty much been involved with some form of military recruiting ever since I joined the company. And let's see. Yeah. Oh, I was also a DA civilian at Joint Base Lewis McChord, where I managed the transition program. So a lot of what I've built or the way I think about things comes from that lens of having been on the federal side, having served, and then now on the corporate side. So next slide, please. This just sort of shows when we first made our initial commitment in Amazon timeframes. This is back in 2016. This is like ancient history, but I realize in the grand scheme of things, most businesses are much older than Amazon. But Jeff Bezos made that commitment. He acknowledged the value that the military community brought, and made that commitment back. The first commitment back in 2016. Next slide, please. That original commitment was for 25,000, and it included a commitment to train and upskill 10,000 as well. We quickly met that commitment and quadrupled it in 2021, and we met that benchmark of 100,000 back in February of 2024. Next slide, please. So again, I always start with this because, again, having been a federal civilian managing the transition program, I interacted with hundreds of companies, and I always kind of wondered, you never know, right? They have these posters, they have these, virtues and their, marketing material. You never know for sure if it's just lip service. I can tell you with 1,000% assurance, these 16 leadership principles, and you can Google them and look at the descriptions, they are foundational for everything we do. So I always tell people, start off researching it. We might not be the right cultural fit for you. So do your homework and figure that out, because you don't want to waste your time, and we don't want to waste your time either. So these leadership principles are how we make decisions. It's how you're promoted in the company. It's how you're evaluated as an employee. It's how you're interviewed as a candidate. Hint, hint, hint. So it is legitimately in every core and fiber of our being, and you'll see, at least if you look at them, they really do align well with military values. So I think you'll find that it's a good place to target. Next slide. All right, so I'm just going to briefly cover a number of our company-wide military programs. And again, you're going to get the hyperlinks for all of these so you can peruse them after the presentation. So the first thing, we do have a military skills translator. If you just go to amazon.jobs/military, you'll answer a question if you're a veteran or a military spouse. Those are the only two categories we have there. And you'll fill out some information about what you did in the military, any other education or experience you have, and then it will match you to open roles on our job board. And the great thing about it is our recruiters can get an account, and they can go in the back end and search for you and pull your name out and then reach out proactively. So it's a push and a pull system. Obviously, as was mentioned, we're a huge proponent of the fellowship program. We do the 3 huge cohorts every year with hiring our heroes, but we also participate in off-cycle fellowship opportunities, and we are working with them to deliver a cohort of 65 people for our data centers on August 25th, which does align with cohort 25-3, but we're bringing in 60 people for basically 4 different roles. So if you're interested in that at all, please join the SkillBridge booth. The Military Pathways Program is an amazing opportunity for people to come into our fulfillment center network at a sort of a entry level managerial role for an area manager for about 6 months, just to get your feet wet, quickly move up into operations management, and then over the course of 3 years, you graduate as a senior operations manager. So it's a lot of military do really well. If you think about the fulfillment center, it's like a big city, right? And you've got human resources and operations and supply chain and logistics and IT, everything in there. And your job as one of those operations managers is to organize all the activities and accomplish a mission during your shift with a team. So military does very well. Next slide, please. We have a dedicated page for military spouses, so you can find those resources at that hyperlink. If you're an entrepreneur and want to start to own your own fleet of prime trucks, you can absolutely do that, and that link leads you to that opportunity. I don't have a hyperlink for student veterans. I just want to talk about it. So our lines of business are able to set aside campus demand specifically for the military community. And Katie Howard on the call is here to talk about our software development engineer campus roles. We've got what are called campus FTE. So those are for people who have recently graduated and haven't got industry experience. So we have roles set aside for the military there. And they're not open right now because we're a little bit past intern season, but we will have campus intern demand moving into 2026 just for military affiliated students. So if you're interested in those types of programs, be sure to check out Katie's booth. Next slide. As we know, a lot of people from the military come with high levels of clearance. We have a dedicated page just for people who want to leverage that clearance as they pursue an opportunity at Amazon. So that's the link you would click for that. And I have the link here for AWS Educate. AWS Educate is one of 3 free resources. If you're sitting on this call and you're like, I want to move into IT, but I don't have any background or experience, you can either use AWS Educate, the AWS Skills Center, or skillbuilder.aws, and each of those has free content like labs and pre-recorded training sessions and test prep materials for you to get an AWS cert. Man, unfortunately, you'll have to pay to sit for the exam, but all the prep material is available on these resources. And it really, I don't know if you saw, we have Learn and Be Curious as one of our leadership principles, but having an AWS certification on your resume really does stand out that you took that time and effort to go outside of your comfort zone and secure an AWS certification. The last thing on this page, we built a technical apprenticeship program for the U.S. military back in 2017. I had the pleasure of being part of that. And so we're able to bring you in fully paid from day one at a little bit lower level and fill that tech gap through a combination of instructor led training and on the job training to get you to the bar. And you're an employee the entire time. I like to say it's your job to lose. As long as you meet the benchmarks, you convert to salary at the end seamlessly and stay on the same team. So it's a great opportunity to get into highly technical roles. Next slide. All right. Every month we have a webinar, and it's the third Tuesday of every month from 11 to 12:30. Teams from across Amazon join. It's different teams every month. This hyperlink will take you to the registration for the June webinar. Unfortunately, there's a different link every month, so I wish it was an evergreen link. But if you are interested in joining us for June, you would click on there and register. Here's some examples of the different teams that might be represented. But please, if you are interested, come and chat with additional teams the third week of June. Next slide. So I just want to go very briefly over our application process because I hear from people day in and day out, I applied, I didn't hear anything, I don't understand. How many steps are there? So um, these are some of those resources to get to the application. That first one is just our landing page for the military programs. The next one's that military skills translator I mentioned. The next is Amazon.jobs. That's our main corporate job board. So I always tell people start, only you know where you're going to bring the biggest value, what type of role you're passionate about, what location you're willing to be at, right? And so start playing around with keyword searches, location searches, business lines, because sometimes we call things very strange titles that you might not even have thought about, right? But do that skills translator. Hopefully, it open your eyes to things you're qualified for. Then take that information, start doing a search. And then again, we've got the cleared jobs page as well. So next slide. So that's how you search, right? Then you're going to apply. So I know this first bullet seems ridiculous, but I wish I could tell you how many times my military candidates skip this step. You absolutely have to clearly show on your resume that you meet the basic qualifications. You cannot assume the recruiter is going to know that your military skills translate to these basic qualifications. Please don't make that assumption. Because of our status as a federal contractor, we by law can't move forward with you if you don't show you demonstrate the basic qualifications that are listed on the job posting. So we can't help if you don't write it and then you get rejected because you didn't meet the BQs. So please do that. And then, of course, don't use a lot of military jargon. I think that goes without saying. Try to figure out a way to transfer those skills. There's so many AI tools right now. I've seen so many different opportunities for you to say, here's the job description, here's my resume, what are my transferable skills? Use the tools available to help you translate. Nobody expects you to be an expert on all of this stuff. And then I like to say, don't just give me a laundry list of what you were responsible for. I want to know what you did, right? What was the impact? Quantifiable data. Next slide. So these are the steps basically. So you got to pass that resume review, right? Meet the basic qualifications. If you do that for several of our roles, not all, that's why there's an asterisk, there's now going to be an online assessment kicked off to you. And depending on the role, it could be a combination of technical screening and cultural competencies. Prep for the online assessment. Usually the recruiter will send you prep materials. I can tell you they all have cultural competencies. Review those leadership principles. Have those in mind when you're answering those behavioral questions. I can't tell you how many of my military candidates, I don't know if they're in a rush and they just put B, 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 or they don't take it seriously, but they fail the cultural competencies. And again, If you do that, we can't talk to you for 6 more months if there's an online assessment associated with your application. So take the time, prep for it, and take it. But don't wait months, because if this is another thing I see my military candidates do. If you are waiting and prepping for months, all the other people are running past you in the candidate flow. So prep, of course, but don't delay too long and just take the online assessment. After that, there's normally a recruiter phone screen, and this is where they're just checking, validating your experience, validating your ability, availability, comp, expectations, locations, that kind of thing. After that, there's usually a hiring manager phone screen, and they are evaluating you for the team, right? It's going to be behavioral based questions again, some technical. If you pass that, you move to what's called a loop, which is, depending on the level, 3 to as much as 7 individual interviews with people from the team. And they're each assigned different competencies to evaluate you on based on those leadership principles. And so what you're going to want to do, and these are some examples of those behavioral based questions. What you're going to want to do is look at our leadership principles. I always tell people, have a good solid 10 stories listed out in the STAR format. So situation, task, action, result. Focus on a data driven result, but have all the components. Write out 10 stories and then look at the 16 leadership principles. You'll find a lot of them are very complementary. You can have a story that'll hit ownership and earns trust, or another story that'll hit learn and be curious and bias for action. Just do a quick map to make sure you've got something that will cover all of them. You don't need necessarily 16 stories, but have a good solid 10. Practice, 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 and then get to where you can say them conversationally. One thing I'll tell you, some mistakes that the talent makes, they only have 3 stories. They say the same story to 5 people. After the loop, all of those people get in a room and they vote and they talk about their experience and they present data around their decision. If you say the same story to 5 people, it makes it look like you don't have scope, you don't have experience. It makes it look like you don't have depth. So I always say 10 is a good rule of thumb, but definitely have a decent number prepared. So that's the final step, though, is that loop. Next slide, please. All right, so once you join, we've got pretty great systems to help you feel comfortable and connect with the broader community. We've got employee resource group called the Warriors, and those are folks that are affiliated with military or just care about the military. And what they do are like, I'm going tomorrow. We're volunteering together at a veterans home. Sometimes they'll just do fun social things. They'll take on projects. But they basically, it's a support system where you can ask the, questions you don't want to ask somebody else, and just again give you that sense of purpose and camaraderie. We also have a mentoring program and curriculum that you can take in that first year. You can, if you want, be assigned a military mentor. There's content every year, every month for the first year on subjects we've seen our military veteran community struggle with at Amazon. So you can take the class, discuss it with your mentor. And in those ways, we really try to make sure that you feel comfortable and supported once you join the company. Next slide. All right. I think I was in the right time frame there. At this point, I would love for my team members to introduce themselves and just talk briefly about what kind of roles and opportunities you're going to be talking about in your booth. And if we can just go from the top left across, and then Matt and Mary, that would be great.
Yeah. Well, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And Robin, thank you for that very in-depth explanation of our process. But anyways, I have been at Amazon for about 4 years as a recruiter. I've supported different parts of the business. The past early 2025 joined our data center recruiting team, and that covers a lot of job families. It takes a lot of work to support these massive operations. So when we go into our chat room for data centers, I could talk in more detail about each role, but overall I support roles that require clearances and that support our data centers. I'm excited to chat more.
Hi, I'm Perry Campbell. I came over to the cleared team with Emily at the same time this year, early 2025. I've been at Amazon for a little over 5 years, and I also support various data center types of roles, which we can discuss in our breakout room.
Hi, everybody. My name is David Fitzpatrick. I am also on the Amazon dedicated cloud team for AWS. So I'm a college hire. I have been with Amazon for about a year and 8 months now, and I've been supporting ADC my entire duration. So anybody with an active government security clearance, I'm more than happy to speak with you, and definitely we can dive right into it further.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Runkle. I've been with Amazon almost 8 years. I'm also a retired Navy commander, super passionate about bringing veterans into Project Kuiper. For those folks that don't know what Project Kuiper is, we are kind of like a mini startup within Amazon where we're putting satellites in space to provide broadband internet across the world. So it's really exciting, some exciting jobs. We have everything from technicians to senior roles like technical program managers, business development. So please join my booth and I can tell you some more.
Hey everybody, my name's Braden Hardesty. Been at Amazon, oh man, it's coming up on 10 years now. Joined in the operations space when I came off active duty, and then joined the military recruiting team here just recently about 2 months ago. In my booth, we'll be talking about all the different SkillBridge opportunities that we have currently here at Amazon. So if you're interested in SkillBridge and eligible for it, come join the booth and we can definitely discuss the opportunities we have for you.
Hey everyone, I'm Skylar Watford. I've been here at Amazon for about 5 years now, actually. I'm with the military recruiting team with Braden also, and we'll be talking about SkillBridge opportunities in our booth.
My name is Katie. I've also been with Amazon for about 5 years, like Skylar. And I am specifically work on our Amazon University talent acquisition positions. So anyone who has graduated, say around the last 2 years, that is the types of positions we would have. We have a lot of the moment software development opportunities. So anyone studying, coding or in that area, please, join the breakout room, and I'd love to chat more about those.
Hey everybody, my name is Matt Korth. I am an Army and Navy veteran. I've been with Amazon for about 7 years. I'm currently on Amazon Operations Military Talent Acquisitions team. And today in our operations booth, we're going to be talking a lot about our salaried management positions within our fulfillment centers. And so these are really great roles for so many transitioning service members and veterans themselves that have experience leading large teams, improving processes, and ultimately working to bring great opportunity and customer satisfaction to all of the customers that we support. And so if you've ever ordered something from Amazon, which I believe a lot of us have, they've come from our fulfillment centers. And so as Robin mentioned, these fulfillment centers are these huge 1 million square foot buildings and a lot like large cities. So we are actively recruiting for managers to help lead that process. So excited to talk more about those opportunities in the operations breakout room. Want to pass it over to my teammate Mary to do a quick introduction.
Hey everyone, my name is Mary and I'm a military spouse. My husband is currently active duty Army. I'm very new to the team. I have been here for about 2 months now, but I'm excited to hit the ground running with Matt to join in on the events. And I'm also on the military talent acquisition team and excited to talk to you folks about our operations salaried roles.
If I could just say, if I were a candidate on this call, I would join every single room. Because, I found when I was managing the transition program, my military candidates would have this thing in their brain. I know what it means to do X or Y. I know what X company has, right? You'll be surprised at the different opportunities that exist. So take this opportunity to connect with every single person, go into every room, learn something, find out about what they have to offer. And I think you'll be better off for it. So, all right. That's all I wanted to say about that. Thanks, Cass.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Amazon, for sharing all of that wonderful information and your insights and your opportunities. And so now it is the exciting time. We're going to transition into those breakout rooms. where you'll have a chance to connect more directly. But before we do that, I want to take a moment to walk you through how the breakout rooms will work and what you can expect. So on the screen, you'll see how to navigate to the breakout rooms. Choose the area that interests you most first. And like Robin said, take advantage of this time and go into every single breakout room. And don't stress if you're not sure, just pick the one that looks interesting and go from there. If you run into issues getting into a room, no worries, just use the chat. Type your name, where you are, where you want to go, and we will get you all sorted out. Okay? So as we move into these breakout sessions, just a quick reminder, the 50 Strong team will be staying here in the main room. There's no need to stay in here with us. We don't have any jobs with 50 Strong at the moment, but Amazon has the jobs. If you have any general questions or need help, please feel free to pop back into the main room and we'll be happy to assist. Make the most of your time. Chat directly with all of these amazing folks from Amazon in the breakout rooms. These sessions are all about exploring job opportunities, not just one-on-one career coaching. Though you'll probably walk away with some really great career advice. I can tell from all of these wonderful Amazon people we have on. No resume is needed, no pitch is needed. Just focus on learning about the company, asking questions, and building those real genuine connections. Amazon has the jobs and the insight, so take full advantage of the chance to connect. All right, we are going to open those breakout rooms now. So please get ready. Once those open, you will have the opportunity to jump.
And it looks like everyone's back.
Wonderful. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had some amazing conversations in your breakout rooms. Now we are going to open up the floor to Robin, and she is going to host a Q&A. And so please feel free to take yourself off of mute, use the raise hand, and then Robin will call on you as we will go through and answer those burning questions. We have about 10 minutes. So please make the best use of your time if you were not able to get your questions answered. So Robin, I will hand it over to you.
Okay, well, on my screen, I saw Shima, your hand was up. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Apologies if I'm not.
Robin, thanks for your support. So I have two questions. First is about referral. So I have some ex-colleagues and friends who are working in Amazon. And when I asked them for referral, they mentioned that because you have applied for this position, we cannot refer you. I want to know, is it like the correct understanding? So before I refer, I should contact them first. And the second is that when you were explaining, you share some link for a spouse. So when I was applying and checking like one position on that link, it didn't ask me anywhere if I'm a spouse or not. So I want to make sure that how our applications stands out, because for veteran or skill jobs, there are some categories, but for a spouse, I don't know how our resume becomes standouts from the other applicant.
So your first question, yes, that's true. So if you have a referral, you find a role that you're really well qualified for, send your person the job number and your targeted resume. They need to submit it in the system, and then you'll get an invitation to apply. If you apply first, they cannot refer you. That is 100% accurate. That's a little trick a lot of people don't know about. So yes, they are not, that is accurate. As it relates to military spouse, any of the programs that I am delivering, and we've got a number of roles open right now, it will say this is for veteran or military spouse. So unfortunately, there's not hundreds and hundreds of roles set aside for the military community, but the ones that we've got posted, military spouses are eligible for. So outside of the ones that we own as a team, you probably won't see a reference to, if you're a military spouse, apply, just because that's not a common thing across the entire company. So I would look for the word veteran or military spouse in the title, and that should bring you to roles that are specifically set aside for veterans or military spouses. And then I would focus on those if you meet the basic qualifications, just because in those scenarios, you're not competing with the world, right? You're only competing with other military members. And so it's a little bit higher chance to get looked at. Hopefully that helps.
Thank you.
Yep. Anthony?
Thank you. First off, thank you for hosting, having being part of this event. Actually, I think you just answered my question because I was going to ask. There's a few positions that have looked at and that I have not applied yet for, but they did not have military. And is that something that we can reach out to you and say, hey, we have this position we're applying for? But it seems like maybe the veteran organization there does not get involved in any of the
Well,
open.
it's not that. So I had actually, and I don't know if everybody saw it. I couldn't tell if I was posting this message to everyone in every room or just the room. We have an Amazon military alias. I don't know if you saw that. I posted it, I think, in every room. So above and beyond the roles that are set aside for military, I do have a core team of what are called military champions that represent different lines of business across the company. And so we have a group email box that if you see 3 to 5 jobs that you're really good fit for, if you send an email to that group email with your resume that shows you clearly meet the BQs and the job numbers, they will do what they can to try to reach out to the hiring team to try to advocate for you. I can't say with 100% certainty they'll be successful, but they will do their best, right? What I don't want you to do, and this happens all the time, I have military candidates that email that group box and say, here's my resume, what am I qualified for? I'm sorry, they're not, I'm not gonna have them waste their time on that, right? We need you to meet us halfway. I need you to do your homework because again, only you know where you bring the most value, where you have a passion, where you're the best fit, right? So help them out, meet them halfway, grab 3 to 5 job numbers that you're a great fit for, attach your resume, send it, and then they will do everything they can to try to help you. Does that make sense? Did you
Yep.
see that blurb I put in the chat
I saw
rooms?
the inbox, so I think that's what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. So I created that just for this exact case, right? So I've got roles and programs just for the military. Awesome. All day, apply for those. However, everybody brings a plethora of skills to the table. Maybe one of my roles isn't the right fit. So we will try to help you for sure. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Quasi?
Yes, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes. I recently applied for the area manager role. I also did assessment. I received an email, I think about 2 weeks ago, stating, but I guess an interview starting on the 5th of June. But that's the only communication I have received. How do I follow up to see the next stages in that process?
I'm going to see if Matt or Mary wants to jump on and try to tackle that question.
Yeah, that's really interesting. If you got an email saying you're going to interview on the 5th of June, the next step would be for our recruiting coordinator to reach out to you and start to solidify what that day is going to look like. So those emails tend to go into junk mail sometimes. So if you haven't checked that, I encourage you to do that. But if not, if that's not the case, then I'd reach back out to that recruiter that sent you the initial email and just let them know that you haven't heard back yet, because that would be the next step. Once that sourcing recruiter reaches out and says, yes, I'd like to move you forward to this interview date, they then move you to the next step, which would involve that recruiting coordinator getting with you. So there could be a couple things, right? With the 5th being, that's not too far out. So ideally, yeah, you're right. You should have heard something. I'd check your junk mail box real quick, but also reach back out to your recruiter to let them know you haven't heard back.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Richard?
Hey, how's it going? 2 questions for you. So when applying for positions, direct hire positions, is it looked at as a negative if you overqualify on the basic qualifications? Basically, the basic qualification is asking for 8+ years, 7+ years, whatever it is. But my resume will say 20+ years in military career and operations. Does that looked upon negatively? And then the second question I have, during the Skill Bridge breakout room, we were told that it's always a possibility that you could apply for a direct position and then ask the recruiter to turn that into a Skill Bridge opportunity. I was just wondering, when is the best opportunity to bring that up, as to avoid wasting too much time if that's not in the cards?
Yeah. So first question, I don't think it's a detriment to list your experience and show that you're overqualified. In my mind, the recruiter should look at that and either consider you for the role or consider you for a higher level role. But I would love any of my recruiting contacts on the call to tell me if I'm wrong about that. Second question, yes, that is absolutely true. It's but much like that group email box. We have candidates all the time that reach out and say, here's a role I'm great fit for. I'm eligible for SkillBridge, and we will do what we can to go to that hiring team and say, hey, would you consider a fellow? But it's super tricky because we rely on hiring our heroes to vet all the SkillBridge candidates to make sure your packet is approved. We don't have the bandwidth to work with commands. And so you got to start that process and have that kind of going down the road before we can have the conversation about SkillBridge, because the dates have to line up, and it is challenging, but it's doable. We've done it for sure before. So I would say that at the beginning to your recruiter, and if they say they don't know what that means, tell them to reach out to me or somebody, because that's the other thing, right? If you apply for a job that's not specifically for the military, a lot of times those recruiters won't know what SkillBridge is, so that can be a challenge for them. But yeah.
And Robin, I would just add to that in regards to the experience. When I look at a resume and I'm like, okay, maybe that person's not a fit for this role, I'm gonna find a role that is gonna fit their level of experience. And it's super helpful if you put on the top of your resume, hiring our heroes, or HOH, whatever the cohort is, 2025-3, whatever it is. That immediately, when I see that, I'm like, okay, if I look at the resume and I'm like, oh, it looks like they're still in, I'm going to ask back and forth, are you in the SkillBridge, that type of thing. But try to put that in your top of your resume. And the overqualification, we're looking for folks to match jobs. So that's our job.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Robin, and thank you, everyone. If we did not get to your question, the Amazon email is in the text chat. Please feel free to email them your question, and the team will be happy to answer that for you. So you will make sure and get that answer. But we are going to move on and respect everyone's time and make sure that we are staying on track. And so we just wanted to bring up a few things. All of our 50 Strong events are about creating space to learn, ask questions, and make real connections. So we hope that that's exactly what you did today. And whether you discovered something new about Amazon, you got a better sense of potential roles, or just made a meaningful connection, I hope that your time was well spent. If you did not get your questions answered, or if you feel like you need more time with Amazon, have no fear. They have 5 more featured events in partnership with 50 Strong throughout the rest of this year. So be on the lookout for that information on our upcoming events page that will drop the link in the text chat. And also make sure to sign up for our email distribution list, and you will receive all of the latest and greatest from 50 Strong. Thank you so much to every single one of you for engaging so fully, and we are really excited to keep that momentum going. Don't forget about our opportunity marketplace. It's not just a job board, it's more of a guided starting point to explore the roles that are aligned with your background. You can easily filter by location and find up-to-date information from our partners, including Amazon. And as a quick reminder, our 50 Strong mentorship platform is all about taking one powerful conversation at a time to move you closer to a stronger career fit. So don't wait. Take the time and jump in today, connect with someone new, and have the kind of meaningful conversation that could change your life. After today, keep the momentum going. Connect with the folks that you met on LinkedIn, follow them on LinkedIn, send them an email to the Amazon military recruiting email, and don't be afraid to reach out. Relationships are key, and now is the perfect time to start building them with this Amazon team. Okay, super exciting. Who doesn't love free stuff? Post on LinkedIn about today's event, tag 50 Strong, Amazon, or any folks that you met. Tell us what you learned or what stood out, and we will send swag to a few of the most creative or heartfelt posts. We actually have someone on the call today that got swag from our last event. And so if you want to come off of mute, we would love to say thank you for joining multiple 50 Strong events.
So I'm not sure if anyone can see it.
There you go, James.
I did a private message to Kate, and then Yeah, and Chantal as well. So I got this. It wasn't the last one. It was the one prior to that one that I got it. And when I got it in the mail, came in a package. I'm like, oh, it must be the 50 strong shirt. So it's a dark gray. I don't even know what color you would call that. So it's not the same one as there, but I saw
Gray.
um,
Heather Gray.
yeah, I saw Candy had a post on I think it was LinkedIn about one with a flag on it. So mine's not that cool. But this is what that means by, since it's backwards in the camera, but that's what it is.
Perfect. Well, thank you. So we actually do send out the swag, everyone. James is living proof. So please feel free to tag us in your posts and we would be happy to put your name in drawing and then send you some 50 strong swag. All right. Well, a big thanks again to every single one of you for joining and to our sponsors, specifically our featured sponsor, Amazon, today for making all of this happen. And we are excited about the conversations that happened today. And as a 50 strong team, we are here to support you however we can. So let's keep making meaningful connections, one conversation at a time. So you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you at the next 50 strong event. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.